Starting off with the very top of our shelf, and here I have some leaf cutouts that we used for hole punching and lacing yarn. These leaf cutouts here, I'll show you later on what we did with those. And this here is the life cycle of an oak tree, sequencing cards and banner cards, and these are from my shop. And of course, everything that I can link will be in the description box down below, as usual. The top of our shelf also usually holds most of the books that we read throughout this unit. This is a pine needle sensory bottle. Types of leaves 3-part cards, and these I initially had displayed on a binder ring to make into a little booklet. And a stamp of a tree that we used to mark several of our worksheets. And then here we just have some nature goodies that the kids were able to pick up and explore whenever they'd like. A basket full of acorns, and these acorns I picked up at the craft store, and we use these as manipulatives and for sensory bin. Sensory basket, I'm not sure if I featured this in our last shelf work video. This has been here for a while. I just keep changing out the contents of it, and basically you put a blindfold on the child, and then the child is just to go ahead and with their senses, sense of touch, sense of smell, maybe even sense of taste, go ahead and figure out what is in the basket. Here I just want to show you a DIY that I made recently, and these are Montessori inspired DIY color tablets, and they're to be used many different ways, but a favorite way that we've been using it is color sorting. So color sorting or color matching our nature finds. We did use our nature journals quite a bit with this unit. We did some leaf rubbings, and we also did some tree trunk rubbings. We have a few tree trunks that we've collected the past few years from our Christmas trees. And so we, pairing it with a few worksheets, we explored the rings in a tree trunk, measured the circumference of a tree trunk. So a lot of fun with nature journaling. So beginning at the bottom of our shelf and working our way up, the bottom row of the shelf is usually for my toddler, but this activity is too advanced for her. So my preschooler has been reaching for this a lot more. And here he is just to sort the different shapes that are on these leaf cutouts. And along with shapes, we also are sorting colors and upper and lower case. And I've just stapled the leaf cutouts here to brown paper bags. Practical Life and Fine Motor by hanging felt leaves on a clothesline, great for developing those pincers. A very simple fine motor tray. My toddler is to string each leaf through the ribbon. All the materials used for this activity are from Dollar Tree. As you see here, this hole puncher punches out paper in the shape of a leaf. So I provided strips of construction paper, which is easiest for my toddler to punch through. For my kindergartner and preschool who also enjoy this activity, I provided paint samples or paint chips, which are a heavier cardstock material, being that they do have more strength. This is the last tray for my toddler. She is Play-Doh obsessed. So here she is to roll up Play-Doh into small balls and place them onto each dot. This would also go nicely paired with gems and a fine motor tool like a scoop, tongs, a spoon. Stickers and do-a-dot markers would also be fun and good fine motor practice as well. Sorting is a fundamental pre-math skill, and so here we are sorting leaves by size, small, medium, and large. Which is different cards are a favorite of ours for logic skills. The child is to identify which leaf is different out of the 4 on each card and mark it with a manipulative. Child can easily point to it. Of course, you can always pair this with a fine motor tool to extend this into a fine motor activity. So here I am using tweezers, but you can use acorns or gems and use a scoop. Tongs. Learning Resources has an awesome set of fine motor tools, and I will link those in the description box. 2-part puzzle cards, which are also great for logic and problem solving skills, and these are also in a leaf theme. The Leaf Book. This is a neat book. All of the illustrations are actual leaf rubbings, and then with each illustration there is a short passage of facts for each leaf. This book inspired us to do leaf rubbings of our own with felt leaves from Dollar Tree, and then referencing back to the leaf book to identify our leaves and label them in our nature journals. Also in this tray are a few coloring pages and nature journal entry pages that we can glue into our nature journals or staple together to make a booklet journal specifically for this unit. I created an autumn tree themed printable to sort long versus short vowel words, and I did not show you in this clip, but we also sorted word family leaves. As you can tell, this worksheet has been loved on quite a bit. So this is a visual discrimination exercise. The child is to identify that top acorn among all the other acorns on the page, and you can pair it with a manipulative. We are using a stamp because my kids love stamps, but again, pair it with a manipulative and a fine motor tool, stickers or do-a-dot markers, and it'll extend this into a fun fine motor activity. Also, I like to place loose worksheets on a clipboard like this because it does keep them neat and contained, but it also makes it easy for rotation once the worksheets have been completed or mastered. In this unit, we learned about deciduous trees, so here we have an acorn-themed hands-on math tray. First is number and number word tracing strips, and these are laminated and paired with a dry erase marker for multiple uses. And this is great, of course, for handwriting, one-to-one correspondence, and number quantity. Along with those, I also have addition and subtraction strips. Some strips are blank to come up with our own equation to add or to subtract to this provided sum. These also have been prepped, so they are laminated and paired with a dry erase marker for multiple uses. I've also created equation strips, and these are Bella's favorite to work. To make this hands-on, I provided acorn manipulatives and a container with 3 slots or compartments. So we use the first 2 slots to match the equation. Then we add all the manipulatives in the 2 slots together into the 3rd slot to come up with the sum. An easier math skill level for my preschooler, and these are acorn themed count and clip it cards. This is for counting, one-to-one correspondence, and number quantity. Next is a recycled activity from last year's fall unit. All of my littles from toddler to kinder really enjoy matching activities, and matching activity cards are great for language development and logic. So the 3-part cards you see here are a DIY, and the figures are Safari LTD tubes. So another tree lesson, and we made nature paintbrushes from pine tree trimmings, and then we had a watercolor lesson with these paintbrushes, so that was really neat. And then this is another matching activity, and this is actually a wonderful free resource. Again, you can find this and all the other resources linked down below in the description box. More hands-on math with a Spanish version of Roll It, Write It, and Count It. So I've placed the worksheet into a dry erase sleeve, and then we roll the dice, write the number, and then count it out by placing manipulatives, and we're using acorns, onto the tree. Similar concept, but an easier skill alternative for my preschooler. So I am using a dry erase die from Dollar Tree, and he is learning number identification along with number quantity. So he'll roll the die and he'll be able to identify that number and then place the quantity number of manipulatives onto the tree. Of course, a tree unit wouldn't be wholesome without going to the outdoors. We searched for evergreen trees, studied bark, identified trees we learned about through books, and collected plenty of nature goodies to take home for further study and journaling. I hope you enjoyed this video on our tree unit studies and that you were able to gather some inspiration for your own studies or shelf work activities. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, I am incredibly thankful for you and for your love.